Okay.
I got a big question for you. This is,
All right.
I guess I will start this. You said Megalopolis was not as entertaining than Deadpool and Wolverine, but you still put it higher. I don't know. You said on your
No.
letterbox you had more fun with Megalopolis than Deadpool and Wolverine. Are you being serious when you say that?
Yes.
Wow. Elaborate, please. I'm so curious.
So, have any of you seen Megalopolis?
No,
No,
just the
no,
out of context videos.
no. Before we get there, I'm gonna do the intro. Welcome back to the Tu-Vie podcast, TV movie entertainment needs podcast. Look at that cold open. We're doing our holiday episode. This is a Christmas episode. We're gonna kick it off with a very special gift. Cameron defending this movie. Colin, welcome back, my co-host. How you doing, bud?
Good, good.
Good, good,
I'm
good.
I'm licensed.
Yeah, you are licensed to drive, not kill. But yeah, look at him go. Proud of you, buddy. Look at you.
I'm still terrified.
Yeah, you never get used to it. And then our with us, who's going to give us a great review, our resident guy, Cameron. Please cut off. Sorry to interrupt. Go on.
All right. So, Megalopolis is this beautiful train wreck, just a series of huge and none of them hitting. It's full. Deadpool and Wolverine makes me feel nothing.
That's insane.
Other than an existential rage that this is how filmmaking is now. Megalopolis is fundamentally just does not work.
Yeah.
On any level. But it made me laugh more. It made me it made me react more. Like, I think Megalopolis is still a worse movie than Deadpool and Wolverine by the virtue of Deadpool and Wolverine having a plot you can follow. But if I'm talking about which one I'd rather rewatch, Megalopolis any day. But it is also a significantly worse movie.
That's insane to me. I just would never guess you have actually
It
said
is
that.
one of those so bad it is phenomenal movies.
Colin, you got anything about this?
Um,
What the are you doing with your hats?
I don't like the way the room is set up. It's dark outside, and I'm trying to figure out how do I look less pale. Okay, I haven't gone outside in quite a bit. I lost a lot of color, and I'm trying to not look so dead. Okay,
you look a lot better though.
I look a lot better because I turned off the big overhead light. The big light never ever works. So
Never turn on
sorry.
the big
You're.
light.
I'm so sorry to do it while you're talking. I think I went through 6 costume changes.
No.
and-
I was just like, what is happening? Is
I
this
know.
like a bit you're doing?
No. I genuinely was very shocked when you said more fun with Megalopolis than Deadpool and Wolverine. But you at least didn't put it higher in your ranking. You
No.
you were very honest with yourself. And I like that.
That
That's
being
good.
said, I didn't expect it, but Venom 3 was worse than both. That
There you go.
movie,
I mean,
real
well,
stinky.
so I haven't seen it yet, but can you at least acknowledge Null? How is he?
Here, I'll acknowledge Noel by saying that how long we've been recording is longer than he's been in the movie.
I meant like how I totally know that. I meant how he looked. How did he look?
You barely see him.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you got like a little bit. Okay, that's good. But Andy Serkis has said he may be coming back.
I mean,
That's cool.
You know?
sure.
And Spider-Man 4 into the multiverse of madness.
You never know.
You know,
You never know. I know. Yeah, and it's a wonderful gift seeing Null on camera. Just like how the gift of the holidays. We're gonna be. Well, this is the penultimate to season 3. This is the.
Hey,
Oof, Cameron, you're not gonna be here the next episode because you're gonna be out of state with family. That's okay. That's whatever. Attaboy, Colin. But your efforts here has been so gracious that I think we should talk as from a musical background, a musical that has recently come out and we've all seen, surprisingly, Wicked. So I say we do a quick
Oh.
review. We'll do. You good with a quick review on that? Okay, cool.
Speed. I am speed.
Must go faster.
The humane thing to do is to make it quick.
I was looking for a verbal acknowledgement. It is a
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
Thumbs ups are not heard. But
Oh, yeah.
Wicked, what the heck? That is that's a shocker for me. I did not expect to like it. I really did. I don't
Yeah.
come from a musical background. I don't much care for musicals, but damn, Colin, I want to ask you about your experience though, because yours the one was the most shocking to all of
Yeah.
us.
I was very surprised. I had some biases coming in just on the fact that I don't love musicals. I really like The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I I don't I Now I feel like I'm one of the few defenders that really likes Oz the Great and Powerful. Like I've recently seen that movie and CGI is shoddy, but also the charm and the world itself,
Hmm.
aside from James
I was
Franco.
gonna say
James
this.
Franco
The
is sleepwalking through that movie.
Yeah, it's a delightful movie, but
Mila Kunis as the Wicked Witch was I think, a bit of a choice as well. Her like mutating into it was
There's
something.
like three witches. It's very confusing.
I
Oh,
love the Sam Raimiisms of
Um,
the Oz and Great and Powerful. But the Wicked movie was
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
I
it was
really loved
such a
it.
beautiful movie. I did not expect to be like, damn, that's good. I
I
mean,
was
practicality.
moved,
Yeah, it's great. The
and
practical
Glenda's
sense
like,
is well,
she's a straight up bitch.
yeah, no, Glenda is awful. I mean, oof. Ariana Grande did
It'll
good. I mean, not her
yeah,
performance, her character. So good.
it'll explain why she was such a, uh,
Well, you said it
not
earlier,
good at her
man.
job
Yeah.
in the first Wizard of Oz when she just could have sent Dorothy the entire time.
On the train. Yeah. Where was the train in Wizard of Oz? That came well before.
Just send Dorothy home like at the end of the movie because
Yeah.
runtime's over.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna let you guys review it. I love that movie.
No, it was great. Cameron, you come from a musical background, so I thought you'd want to take it next.
I have seen Wicked on Broadway.
Oh, really?
My family took me one year. My parents had a former student that was running the orchestra.
That's cool.
Um, so I will say I don't have like a huge emotional attachment to Wicked. I thought it was a fun musical.
Yeah.
I did not love Wicked. I thought it was okay. I think it has a lot of glaring issues, but its strengths are really strong.
And her
Ariana
name is
Grande
Cynthia.
oh,
Or yeah, sorry, go
was
on.
great.
Yeah.
Cynthia Erivo's
Oh,
voice is undeniable.
so good.
Um, I think when it's on a practical set, it looks great. When it's not, it looks real stinky bad. The lighting is questionable. The color choices are questionable. Michelle Yeoh and Goldblum, questionable. Um, what else? Like,
I mean, we all love what's his name, Ethan Slater. We all love that guy.
no.
I mean,
Um,
a year joke in
fuck.
the making was so. I kept dying laughing every time I saw his ass on screen from when you did the David Fincher rant. So good.
Later. Um, Another thing, way too long.
Mm,
Way too long.
mm.
And like another thing is like, why is this movie two part? It's
Yeah,
one part and it's already as long as the whole musical.
yeah.
It's very silly, but I also get it. You can't like just have a movie and have Defying Gravity be in the middle.
Hmm.
A
Because that's how
showstopper.
in the play it acts.
That's
That's the
that's
end of
before
Act
the
One.
intermission
Okay.
in the play.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid movie. Like the choreography's fun.
Mm.
Um, a lot of the musical numbers hit. And like genuinely, Ariana Grande is a movie star. Very excited to see what she does next. Thought Jonathan Bailey was really fun. I think just a lot of the creative decisions behind the camera I didn't like. Like the colors. Like Oz is this fantasy wonderland. It's bright, it's colorful. Like it is color and film. That's like one of the big things about Wizard of Oz. It's one of the
Yeah.
things that pushed Technicolor. It wasn't
Hmm.
like the first to do it or anything, but it was one of.
Hmm.
But like
It was the most well
you
known. Like
talk to
it was the
you
biggest
talk to the
project for it.
director and people are like, why is the movie so desaturated? And he's like, because I wanted to make it feel like a real place. I have bad news for him. Oz is a dreamland, quite literally.
Yeah.
Um, I I think it's fine. I don't really have any like super strong opinions on this movie until we talk about its chances in the best picture race, which I think is
Mm.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Because
Um,
I was thinking about all the other movies that have come out this year, I wouldn't be surprised if Cynthia got Best Supporting because she was
Cynthia
phenomenal.
for supporting.
She's the
She's the
Wicked?
lead.
I
Yeah.
thought it was Ariana Grande that was the lead because I thought since it was
No.
okay, hold on. I
They're
knew the main
campaigning
focus.
Ariva lead, Ariana Grande supporting.
I would have thought the
which
other way around
I-
because I thought since Glinda was telling the story, they would have made her the
But
lead.
this is the story about the Wicked Witch.
That is true, and I understand. I'm not saying that Cynthia does not deserve lead. I was thought just in sense of the story, the Oscars might look at it differently because Oscars take a lot of different.
No,
Take a lot of picks
it's all about
differently.
how the studio campaigns them.
Okay,
But
okay. Well, then with knowing how the studios, Cynthia for sure being lead and Ariana best
But
supporting because I thought
I'd
if
be
we're going
fine
by
with
movie standard.
Ari getting a nom. Cynthia probably will. I think she has a great voice. I don't love how she played Glinda or not Glinda. Jesus,
Elphaba.
Elphaba.
I thought
Fucking-
I really loved Cynthia. She was I loved the fact that when during Defying Gravity, she was singing while they were doing the rig for her flying.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
that's insanely
lot.
talented. That's a lot. I thought that was really good.
But yeah, as far as its Oscar chances, people are calling this a Best Picture frontrunner, and
Mm.
if it wins Best Picture this year, that will be a travesty.
Because I
I
mean,
mean,
you were saying last episode or a few episodes ago, Conclave has a better shot of winning Best Picture.
not anymore. This has really flipped the Best Picture race.
Wow, really?
As far as being it's such a hit
Mm.
and people are responding like so rapturously about it
That's true.
that like I think there's no world where it doesn't get a nomination. But like, oh boy. If it walks away with a Best Picture win, I am gonna like this movie significantly less.
I would. I don't.
Colin's a
If it
changed man
won
after this
best,
movie.
if it won Best Picture, I wouldn't be surprised, and or because I haven't seen that many movies this year, as you know, compared to you guys. So like my opinion is just based off of what I've seen. I wouldn't hate the idea that this did win Best Picture or something because and this is where I'm going to conflict with Cameron a little bit. The world of Oz in that movie, I was enraptured. Like
Mm.
I was like, man, living in this world would be magical. Like, and like the choreography and the creativity with the dances, especially in that library scene, or hell, even Defying Gravity. At my Starbucks, at the there's this person who plays just nonstop like musical like playlists from like all the Disney. So Defying Gravity, if you're working an 8-hour shift, you're listening to that shit for like 6 hours,
Oh,
like six times.
oof.
But like the movie itself didn't ruin it for me.
Hmm.
And I do agree the movie is incredibly long, but
Yeah, almost 3 hours.
I I I just I was blown away.
Colin is truly a changed man. That's when he texted that it's the most beautiful movie you've ever seen. I was really taken
No,
back. I thought that was Cameron.
one of the most.
Still, just even that sentence is insane.
Allow me to shit on Wicked some more. It's fine. It's fine. I think so. Here's a brief history of what Wicked is.
Okay.
So Wicked was written by this author whose main shtick is taking fairy tales and being like, but what if, dude?
That's cool.
And he wrote Wicked, which was just one of his books. Like what are the other books he did?
I'll look
But
it up. Just give me the name while you keep going.
Wicked author.
Okay, I got you. Just keep going with it.
So he wrote Wicked, and it was generally well received. It was like kind of like a cult hit, but it didn't really explode until somebody turned it into a musical. And then this musical is this huge sensation, launches the careers of, or I mean, not really launches the careers, but really solidifies the career of Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, who showed up in
That
the
was
movie.
a fun cameo. I liked that. That was done right. I thought so.
It was fun.
Also, I did find the other books if you want me to read them out.
Yeah, hit him.
So he did Wicked, of course, in 1995. He did Son of a Witch.
Did make a ton of sequels to Wicked.
Yeah, he did Son of a Witch,
now
which
feels like
is,
a
I
threat.
think, I don't know what exactly it is. A Lion Among Men, Out of Oz, and then he did After Alice, Mirror Mirror, the Wicked Years collection. He did an Elphaba solo book. A lot of other ones like
Yeah, yeah. After Wicked
you could,
success, he was like, "Oh,
yeah,
I need to make a lot more of these."
yeah, yeah, sure. So he kind of stuck to one thing, and then I think he did children's books.
Yeah, but like Wicked's this sensation, weirdly lost the Tony to Avenue Q, which was a musical with Muppets.
What?
Um, yeah, or
That's a thing.
puppets,
Oh,
essentially. Not Muppets, but
oh. I was like, I
um,
say a Jim Henson musical sounds fun.
no. I mean, it kind of is that, but not officially Jim Henson.
Oh,
But
well,
um, Wicked's the sensation. People are like, when are they gonna make a movie? And it took this long, like 20 something years.
like I think it was 22 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long.
Um, I think Wicked has some story problems as well. Mainly my biggest problem story wise is like
Fierro dancing
their
on the
their
books.
race metaphor is real muddled
Hmm.
with the animals and stuff, but also like Cynthia Erivo being cast as Elphaba was a really interesting choice to cast a person of color as Elphaba because usually it's been a white woman as well. Um, and like she's discriminated because she's green, and then immediately after Glinda is like taking her under her wing, everyone's just like fine with it.
Hmm.
Okay,
Well,
quick
that's
side
sort of
note.
like high school kind of
It's
classism.
very high
Yeah.
school hijinks. Yeah.
Also, another thing, everyone looks 30.
Well, what age is this supposed to be?
They're supposed to be in high school.
Oh, I thought this was like a college kind of thing.
I don't
I,
know.
I got that
Like,
like I got that feeling too
Yeah,
because
I
they're
just thought
like
everyone.
dorming.
Yeah, and then I just thought everyone was just like immature because they just decided to just be like, "Oh, she's green. Ew."
appears that it is both.
What?
Go Google
How can
has
they?
confused me. It is both a university, yet they are the age of high schoolers.
So is it like a combo university, like a KFC Pizza Hut thing, where it's like you can go to high
Yeah,
school and then still go through the college thing?
who knows?
Is
This is
that
a
directly from the
this
Nothing
is
book
a
or the
says wicked
movie?
like
we're
a KFC
you
Pizza
know
Hut
what?
combo.
If your movie doesn't explain your educational system, 1 star.
I need to know their
I
academic
need a
world building.
detailed explanation of the school system.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, who's picking up those books that Fiero absolutely ruined? Because that was the one song that pissed me off the most. I'm
Dancing
not
Through
a
Life, it's the best one. I love Dancing
literally
Through
I hate it because I'm not an avid book guy. Like I don't think I don't think I would consider myself like a book avid book reader. I like books.
Life.
I think we should keep books exactly as they
Yeah,
are,
so
preserve
important.
them. But if you're dancing and digging your heel into it, get off, dude. I don't know. I thought it was like, oh look at me, I'm a prince. I don't read. I wanted to hit him in
Yeah.
the face with a horse.
But basically, what I was saying is like, Glinda is discriminated against because of the color of her skin. She's treated weirdly. But then also, we have the animals
Mm,
who are also a race allegory.
mm.
And like, it's just a lot, and they never really make either of them work. Like, that scene at the party where Glinda and Elphaba are doing that weird whole dance
Wednesday
was
Adams. I got
one
a
of
lot of Wednesday from that.
woof. I mean, that scene was bottom 10 of the year for me. Like just a very awkward, stilted,
Was
like
that from the
movie
play?
thought it had a lot of emotional weight on that scene, and it just felt awkward.
Was it from the play? Because I felt like they did a
No,
lot.
it's fully original to the movie. That's
Oh,
not in the play.
because I thought that was from the play.
You'd think, because why else would they do that? Um,
Hmm.
but like, Wicked's fine.
I think we
I
got that.
cannot live in a world where that wins Best Picture over literally anything else that comes out this year.
Well, we have our Oscars episode coming out in 3 months. So we'll have to wait. I
People
know.
are like, "Oh, the Oscars are so dumb. I don't care. They're fun to me."
Y'all better not dip on me next time. I had to do the Oscars episode alone when I was
Oh
sick.
my gosh, I'm so sorry.
I
I
know.
will totally talk
No, I know.
Oscars all
And you know
day.
what? You better find that shirt. That's why I bought the shirts originally. Better find that damn thing.
I will. I will. I will.
That cost me $4. But either way, let's get into the main episode here. Colin, I know I said I was gonna have you do the episode, but Cameron, I want you to actually give this a shot. I want you to try and lead into the episode. So I'm
What?
gonna feed you guys. I'm gonna feed you lines.
Wait, didn't we already do the intro?
I know we're doing an intro to the main topic, so I want to feed you lines,
Oh.
and you're gonna do it like how like Jimmy Fallon does. You know, go with it. Okay, ready? And we are live in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey guys, welcome to our holiday special. I am your guest host, Cameron, sitting with James and Colin, the regular hosts.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hey,
Thanks for having us.
Wow. Great to have you guys.
Great to be here, Cameron. Great to be here. You look a lot taller in person.
I'm 8 feet tall. And today we are doing another series breakdown.
What?
holy.
I know. Pretty crazy. That series being exclamation mark.
Can you give us a drum roll? What's the band? I'm literally picking up nothing, so I'll put one in post. Ready?
The Zack Snyder DC universe or the Snyderverse.
Since the Snyderverse is over and the DC universe is starting back over, no better way to end our year and begin the holiday season with a little treat and a gift to ourselves of the Zack Snyder review. Colin, I know I said you weren't leading it, but I lied. Cameron, thank you for leading us in the episode. Colin, you've been waiting on this and sitting on this rock for so long. Let's get into it.
Yeah, holy cow, the Zack Snyder. It came, it went, it whimpered, it died. Last movie was Aquaman and the Lost box office. So today, we are going to go to the very beginning. Now, and some of this is knowledge that may or may not be true from what I remember, but I did take notes and did research. So let's start off with Man of Steel. Now, this is like around 2013 is when Man of Steel came out. But before that, I think we all may know or not know that Christopher Nolan was offered to direct it. But yeah, he was, but he landed on being a producer. What you may not know.
Compromise for not doing it.
Wow.
And this is Warner Brothers. They're high off of their Dark Knight trilogy. They want another Dark Knight. And they wanted to get Christopher Nolan to do it. What better man than Christopher Nolan? But like, thank God we probably didn't get that, because he would actually like look into research of how to actually get a man to fly with no CGI at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Strap rock. They probably Batman Beyond him. Just strap rockets to his feet and let him go.
He'd go to Area 51, show me what you got. But do you want to know who Christopher Nolan suggested to the studio to direct?
Who?
Zack Snyder.
Oh, really? That was
Zack
his suggestion?
Snyder. Yep. Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan are not very close, but they're close. They're close collaborators.
Wow.
And Christopher Nolan does love Zack Snyder's vision. Let's see.
He's got
here.
someone.
At least he's got someone. And
someone
if
in the
Man
corner.
of Steel was a success, then they would launch a DC universe where Zack Snyder would be in creative control and Warner Brothers and everything. And so I have here, according to Jay Oliva, Zack Snyder was always interested in a Batman versus Superman story due to the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel influence, which we can all see. He strokes his dick to it. And showed him a storyboard of Batman versus Superman before Man of Steel was ever released.
Wow.
So it was always a plan for him to at least have Batman and Superman fight at some point, whether it was the movie that he envisioned with Batman versus Superman or not.
Yeah.
So before Batman versus Superman came out, Warner Brothers announced 9 movies before Batman versus Superman released that span over 7 years, and only some have ever been made.
I'm not gonna lie, I was deathly excited for the Cyborg movie when I heard that. I was so excited.
Were you?
I love Cyborg. I love Cyborg as a character. I thought, great, getting him on camera and getting him in a big movie on par at the time with like the first two phases of Marvel. Like, that's insane. That's a great idea. Never
Yeah,
came.
but I mean, again, it's fine. I like Cyborg, but I just don't think he needs his own solo movie. He's better to be a part of a team than having his own. But I've never read any
I just
solo
wanted
Cyborg
something.
series.
I just wanted something.
So now they have their slate. They're wanting to get their own MCU. And you'll notice a track record with Warner Brothers where they're heavily like, we need to do what the MCU is doing over there. We need more MCU-isms. We need to do what Marvel is doing over there. They're making money. We're in the red. We have to get going.
Yeah, man.
Batman versus Superman comes out and it flopped. It flopped so hard. All right. It was butchered to death.
We're kind of going over Man of Steel real quick. I want to go back to Man of Steel. Man of Steel was a crazy big success for the time being. Like 2013, seeing Henry Cavill become Superman was really, well, at the time, I think it was like, I think it was genuinely like a commercial success. Let me see.
It was a hit, but it didn't like set the world on fire.
It didn't. Yeah. No, it was a hit, but it was like the first Superman movie since
Returns.
Yeah, it was 03?
04, 06.
06.
05 or 06.
So it was roughly 7-8 years since the last Superman movie, and there was like no word for the longest time. And then we get that teaser trailer of him and the grounds moving. It's a great trailer, and it's insane where it goes next. Because
you watch the first teaser of Man of Steel where it's like Pa Kent like narrating over. It is wild for like a Superman teaser. It's very dark and grim.
Yeah,
not dark and grim, but melancholy. You know, it's the
and it's Cameron's favorite Pa Kent of all time. We've heard it here. He loves it.
Just such a good dad.
Yeah, I mean,
gotta let him drown, Clark.
It's so good.
Gotta let him die.
Your rant, I think, is one of my favorite things that has happened on this podcast. It's so good.
And before all of this, like before all the research, I wanted to rewatch quite a bit. I couldn't get to all of them because I would have killed myself. But I did rewatch Man of Steel, which was one of them, and it does hold up, but with a lot of glaring problems.
Yeah.
You know, I am no longer on the Snyder bandwagon, but still I can appreciate a lot of what he's done, especially with his visuals, and also Henry Cavill as well carrying that movie. Over time though, Lois Lane, I apologize. Who's the actress? Amy Adams is Lois Lane. I'm not the biggest fan of her Lois Lane. I don't know what it is.
She was wasted. Amy Adams' talent severely pushed aside. Made no sense.
Yeah. She also got muddled.
Sorry, Cameron. What?
She needs to fire the hell out of her agent.
Yeah.
Like, you see what she's in this year?
I know. Night Pitch looks really good. I cannot wait to go see it. Cannot wait.
Okay.
I'm excited for it.
You let me know how that is.
Also, Y2K, fun time. Not a great movie overall, but it was fun.
Oh, we didn't get to that review.
Yeah, that was the review. Go for it.
Oh, okay, cool. Man of Steel does hold up in a lot of parts, especially with just how good it looks for today's standards. It's just, I'm blown away. But, again, a lot of glaring problems, and also divided quite a bit of fans when it first released because it started that Snyder superhero kill count.
Yeah.
Oof. And there's still debate to this day of like, could Superman have saved Zod? Could he have not just snapped a neck, moved around? Some fans saying that even if he did like fly him up, he would just go down and kill more people. Like Superman had no choice and blah, blah, blah. Or, it debated to this day. Wild, but it made the money and also made quite a bit of fans be like, okay, all right, well, let's see where this goes. Now, Comic-Con, they announced Batman versus Superman, and wow, you watched it,
Cameron, you got to speak up a little bit. I don't hear a word you're saying.
I said that was a very cool moment.
Oh yes, it was
very, very cool moment.
Cool.
where you had the actor who played now Martian Manhunter reading lines from The Dark Knight Returns. Lights go down, Superman logo. Fans are like, "Oh, what's going to happen?" And then the
And then
Bat logo shines on, and you can watch that footage to this day, and people are going, "Yeah, yeah,"
One
going
of those like
crazy.
classic Comic-Con moments.
Colin, what
Yeah,
was your hand doing in that moment?
my wiener too big.
Okay. Move on.
Anyway, Batman vs Superman comes out, completely tanks, made the money, but tanked really hard. The famous Martha scene, it was a boring movie. They only fought for a couple of minutes, and then they're like, let's go get some shawarma after this.
They really Civil
After
War did. It was right after Civil War that movie came out, I think.
Nope, before.
It was before.
it no,
Well, then
yeah,
I saw it after.
Marvel actually got scared of DC when DC announced that they're doing a Batman versus Superman. So they did their Civil War, and in the less amount of time made a better movie.
Yeah.
Actually,
Arguably.
I think it was the other
Wild.
way around. Marvel had, at the time, it was Batman versus Superman against Captain America 3.
Yeah.
They were both going to come out in May. And then
Yeah.
they were like, oh, actually, Iron Man's going to be in this. Oh, actually, it's Civil War.
Yeah.
And then DC was like, we're going to move it up to March.
That's right. Yeah. March 20. Wow, Cameron, you into release dates. Damn. Yeah, man.
Why we need you.
Yeah.
So after that, that sounded like a
Sounded
sarcastic.
so
I meant
like, yeah, welcome to the
meant
team, Cameron.
Anyway, Suicide Squad is now in
Oof.
editing hell. All right, Warner Brothers are scared. They're like, I don't think we need the Zack guy anymore. This is just not working out too well. He makes the longest movies ever. We had to cut that shit down, and they cut the movie down so that they could have more movie theaters showing more of like the screenings for like the Batman versus Superman. Wasn't necessarily because it was too long. They just wanted to get their money's worth. And Suicide Squad, Warner Brothers were like, hey, David, we're going to give this to the guys that made the Bohemian Rhapsody trailer. Everybody, like, that was the most watched movie trailer. There are people like that tone.
Really?
And then it just, yeah, you watch the first Suicide Squad trailer and then the Bohemian Rhapsody trailer, two different movies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Completely
I thought you meant the movie Bohemian Rhapsody.
No.
Not the song
The trailer,
choice.
the trailer with it.
Gotcha. Okay. Totally agree. Very different. The other one was like, You Don't Own Me, right?
No. The first one was like, I started a joke. It was very dark.
Oh, that's right.
Look up
That's right.
And then that movie came, and then it tanked again. And then you'll notice a track record with these sort of releases, because after Batman vs Superman came out, came the Ultimate Edition, which had the rest of the movie. And then when
that
Suicide
one
Squad
swear
came
word.
out, they had the extended cut, which showed a little bit more of the movie, but not all of the movie.
It did not. It showed 2 minutes, maybe.
It had like 15 minutes, and it didn't make it that much more watchable.
It made it awful. It made it worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, made it so much worse.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm talking a while. So if anybody wants to jump in and help me out with some
I'm
of
surprised
this.
Cameron isn't ripping
right,
into this
brother.
harder. I mean, I really thought he'd just go into like a kid in Christmas.
What were you saying, Cam?
I'm on the ride. I'm living it with you. I'm like, wow, damn, we really did live through this.
Yeah, we did. And what was the movie after? It was Wonder Woman. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
it was Suicide Squad, then Wonder Woman. By arguably the best DC movie of that era.
Of that time.
Of that era.
Wonder Woman came out, and to everybody's surprise, was a massive hit.
Yeah.
But it still had studio interference. But I think you may know this, if anybody wants to guess, what the studio tried to change.
Gal Gadot?
No,
Oh, I don't know.
in the movie.
Wasn't it the No Man's Land part?
No, it was the third act. Ares was never supposed
yeah.
to be in the movie.
Oh wow, really?
So that's why, like, the biggest complaint from that movie was the third act. Warner Brothers was like, actually, instead of like Diana just finding out that, like, just men are cruel, like everybody's cruel, like it like just have Ares just be the one that's causing all of this. And then Patty was like, what the hell, dude? Like, we don't have time for this.
Yeah, man.
Movie's gonna come out in a couple months. Like, you want us to just completely, like, yeah, go do that.
That's wild.
And but still successful and still like, all right, we're batting one out of three. All right, we did this. All right. Next movie is Justice League, right? Or it's
Justice.
Aquaman.
No, it was Justice
No,
League.
it's Justice League.
Okay.
Stupid
So
piece of-
next movie, Justice League.
Bad
All right.
movie.
The studio is so hell bent on finding a reason to get Zack Snyder away from this movie. They already have it filmed. They showed Comic-Con footage, a little bit of like a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Zack Snyder's daughter passed away, and it was crushing for him and his family. And he had to leave. Studio was like, perfect time. We want this MCU shtick. Let's get the guy that did the biggest movie in the phase one, which was Avengers, which was Joss Whedon. Now, I'm going to stay
unproblematic Joss Whedon.
Yeah, and I'm going to
Never
stay
did
away
anything
from
wrong.
never did anything wrong, completely respectful to women.
Totally never took credit for work he never did.
Totally didn't rip himself off of doing that boob landing he did in Age of Ultron and Justice League with Flash and Wonder Woman.
So bad.
I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but I think that's a body double of Gal Gadot because she refused to do that scene. So
I hope it was because she stood on that. Good for her, but that's still awful that he wrote that.
It's
stupid.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stay away from
wrote Toy Story.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Kind of the fall off has to be studied.
It's crazy. So I think around the Justice League time as well is when Jeff Johns and somebody else, I forget, were the new presidents. And you'll notice a trend with this entire cinematic universe. There were so many like leaders that left, came in. We had Jeff Johns. We had this other guy that I forget. It was with the AT&T merger. Then it was like The Rock. And then now it's James Gunn. Walter Amada, thank you. I didn't mean to point at you like that. I apologize. Jeff Johns and this other guy, I forget, like they wanted to change the movie. They drastically, and you can see it's night and day with like literally night and day with Justice League and Justice League. And aside from all the politics as well, people just had a miserable experience working with Joss Whedon as opposed to Zack Snyder. Yeah. And that's when the slow crawl came for the release the Snyder cut. All right. All of Zack's crew that worked with him were like, he had a vision. It actually is a good movie. You need to release it. Just like, just flat out, just come on. Like this is a joke. This is horrible. What happened? With this like caterpillar, like hidden lip, like Henry Cavill.
God, that is exactly what I knew that movie was going to be. When I saw that, I was
that is one of my favorite things that has happened in the last 10 years of Hollywood.
Because he was filming Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Completely f***ing over DC.
Oh my gosh. And I remember seeing that in the movie. I was like, is it my eyes? Like I thought it was something. I thought maybe I was in a 3D movie by accident. I genuinely didn't realize what was going on until then the rest of the movie.
What's stronger? A multi-billion-dollar movie franchise or a contractually protected mustache?
You'd be surprised, dude. That little lip mustache thing
cool win.
Killer. And I love that later on the line, Deadpool makes that great joke for the Cable reveal trailer. That was a great gag. That was great.
Yeah. What an era.
Oh, what an era. What an era. I will say the first Justice League trailer with Icky Thump was really cool. I loved the trailers. There's never been a bad DC trailer, in my opinion. I can't really think of. They've all been.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
I thought the trailer looked fine.
I just threw a dragon. I just threw a car at a dragon.
You know what? I forgot
my life.
I forgot that. Well, I thought that was kind of fun because he's still a kid. Go on, move on. We're gonna get to that later.
Hey, did y'all see what Zachary Levi's up to?
We can do a whole episode about that. I will say this. I put on my letterbox Harold the Purple Crayon because I watched a Razzle video of them dissing that movie. That is the only way I will ever watch it. And then later that night, I go over to Sophie's house. She's putting it on in the background. She's doing chores, dude. That movie's a chore movie. Oh.
Man. So I think around this time, Cameron, if you can help me out, it was early in development one more thing. The reshoots, it's not that common. but usually with reshoots, it costs like maybe a few $1 million, like probably like a
I mean,
they
for
they over
movies of that scale, they're not cheap.
No,
they're not cheap,
they're
but
a
they
handful.
overextended it just by remaking this movie like to a small time frame. And they had to release it because I believe that if they delayed it or something like that, like the heads were trying to protect their paychecks. I forget what it was, but like
Shocker.
they were trying to the heads were trying to protect their payday, so they had to release it as early as possible, regardless of if the reshoots are not like finished or completed or looks like a PS3 cutscene. It's horrible.
By the way,
So
Steppenwolf looks awful, I think, in that version more than anything. He looks
mhm,
like a dude that just ate a bell pepper. Like, he just does not look scary at all.
yeah, and super obsessed with his mother.
Mother,
Oh, mother,
mama,
doing this for your mother.
mommy, I'm going to take over the planet.
Mommy, mother.
Bro, it just, he looks so, he was so bad.
Yeah, it
The
was
tuning
horrible.
fork head.
And then the next couple of years, and Aquaman was protected. It was filmed around the AT&T kind of like merger.
That
So
was
like
good.
Aquaman was protected. There wasn't really that many reshoots, and I don't think they wanted to change that much to begin with. But happened to be the most profitable DC
Yeah.
movie from Man of
Which-
Steel all the way to Justice
It's
League.
insane. And
Sure.
I enjoyed it. I kind of enjoyed Aquaman. I'll be real.
It is a very silly movie.
It's silly, but that's what I think. Like I mean, some of the fight scenes was sick with Nicole Kidman in the lighthouse opening scene. That was kind of cool.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
That was pretty rad.
Oh,
And then the
yeah,
Italy,
James Wan fight scenes are always
dude, James
top
Wan
tier.
was so good.
Man,
It was a good
Malignant.
choice. What'd you say?
Yeah,
That's
was
that
that?
shit.
Malignant,
I actually haven't seen *Malignant*.
dude, it gets
Okay.
insane.
What'd you
It's
say?
fucking crazy.
Well, I don't know. When did it come out?
A few years ago.
2022.
Oh, I remember seeing this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give it a
let's-
watch on
Yeah.
HBO Max.
I don't know. Would I not like it? You guys know my.
No,
Good.
it's great. You'll be fun.
He said the same thing about Talk to Me. He said it's a great family-friendly movie about remembering the past or something. So
That is absolutely what Talk to Me is about.
okay.
It's a darker Sam Raimi movie, so you're not really going to be spooked. You'll probably get like you'll
Okay.
probably jump or get
I'll be
shocked,
fine.
Yeah,
but
it's
you're
very-
not
it's
going to be
very
like
Raimi.
afraid.
Okay.
Where was I?
Afraid was a weird
Aquaman
choice.
was protected, made $1 billion,
So
to-
wild.
which was insane to
Yeah.
not Batman versus Superman fighting, but
No.
Aquaman, the fish guy.
Yeah.
My
man.
and then we
Love
get that epic, infamous scene where he's like, "Are you saying they executed her?"
It's so good. That is my favorite line. Are you saying the A's? I can't never say with a straight. And then Willem Dafoe had to act against that one. I mean, crazy. You know it's a crazy movie when Willem Dafoe's your best actor.
He is a good actor. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying it's crazy that that if Willem Dafoe's the only good actor in the whole movie, you had Patrick, the guy from The Conjuring.
Oh,
Yeah.
Patrick
He was
Bateman.
Ocean Master.
No, not Bateman.
No, not Bateman. Whatever his name is, he's a great actor. And I was thinking,
Yeah.
just
Wilson.
Thank you,
Wilson.
Patrick Wilson. He's a great actor, but I felt like he was just like a, "Mommy, I'm not the king." Like, God, shut up.
I think he's actually really fun in Lost Kingdom or whatever it was.
I never saw it.
He's really fun in that movie.
All right, I will take your word for it. I just think
Yeah.
he was totally wasted. And the Dolph Lundgren cameo, that's always fun.
If Aquaman is Thor Ragnarok, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Every company's got one. All right.
So after that, we got our other movies. Shazam,
Yes, sir.
did fine.
I liked it.
Like it did fine.
Shazam
It actually,
Good. I
don't
will
think
ride.
it did
for
fine. It did
Shazam.
really good.
yeah. It's so good. Zachary was
Reviews
a good choice.
wise, oh
Sorry. I
Reviews-
gotta say one thing, Cameron. You were saying something because we're both fans of this movie. Zachary was a good choice. Where did we go wrong?
Zachary went wrong.
Yeah, Zachary went wrong. And I think the sequel just completely swing and a miss.
Yeah.
I love David Sandberg, but yeah, he just wasn't on his. I just not a movie that worked.
Very studio. But Shazam was fun. I liked it a lot.
But the first Shazam, I do think is a really good movie. I think weirdly enough, it's the closest we've gotten to the original Raimi Spider-Man Like that's a very Raimi-esque movie, just in
Yeah.
like tone.
The boardroom scene.
Like the boardroom scene, just like the way it's so earnest
Hmm.
and like at the end of Spider-Man, you have that moment where like the civilians are like, you got a problem. If you mess with him, you mess with all of us. Like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, that like kind of sweet, like kind of stuff.
Was
You
it the
get that with
comedian that
the
made the cameo?
family. Like the family aspect is so sweet and heartwarming.
Yeah.
And I
Jack
think the
Dylan Grazer was a good
ending's really great. The surprise of seeing everybody as a Shazam
yeah,
or the
I like
Shazamily.
I like it.
Um,
Colin, you're doing
but
great. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump off the train there. I liked what you were doing. I just
I,
want to go into Shazam.
I just want to give a shout out to Shazam, which I think is probably the second best movie in the entire
Yeah.
DC.
What's the first one? What's your first one?
What's your first one?
Oh, the Suicide Squad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So around this time, Walter Amada is the head, right, Cameron?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Shazam comes out.
Mm-hmm.
What are the other movies? Okay, Birds of Prey
is next.
Birds of Prey
Also
has
good.
some.
I didn't like
It's
it.
a
when I
good.
saw
It's
it.
a good. It's a good movie.
I don't know why. I
But
gotta rewatch
also shouldn't be called Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Regardless of if Harley Quinn's name is in it, it's just a Harley Quinn movie and a Birds of Prey post-credit scene at the end.
Like you could have called it The Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. That would have been a fun title for a movie. Not Birds
Yeah,
of Prey.
you could have just called it Harley Quinn at that point too.
That's true. Yeah, I gotta rewatch it.
It's a fun. I like it a lot.
I like
and
Ewan.
Ewan McGregor eats up every
He's good.
scene he's in.
My
like that.
gosh. The ending with his character, one of like the most unexpectedly violent things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was just like, oh my God.
I was really sad to see him leave because like he would have made a really great Black Mask, but knowing now where the universe would have gone, there would have been no future to begin with.
Also,
we can bring it back.
Chris Messina as Victor Zsasz was really fun.
Oh, I forgot Zaz was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I do
And
like
they
the
had
guy that
this-
played NoHo Hank more though as Zaz. He was really good.
Sure.
Don't bring up Gotham ever again in this podcast. I don't care if this is your show or not.
My
Colin,
dad
it is our show.
loved Gotham.
Yeah.
And he like it was on like HBO Max or something, and he was like, "Oh man, I should rewatch Gotham." And I was just like, "Ugh."
Your dad and I would get along because I loved Gotham when it was coming out. When it was coming out, then I stopped watching
Okay.
around season 3. Around
Okay.
season 3. Right after
Dude,
the time Fish Mooney
that
literally
shit
stabbed her own
went
eye as
crazy.
yeah. Or no, when they brought Solomon Grundy, that was when I started tapering off a bit.
They were doing Sony before Sony was doing Sony.
Yeah, man.
It was like, let's make every villain before Batman.
Yeah, man.
No.
Yeah.
It's like when Batman shows up on the scene, everybody's been there for like a decade.
It was like a shitty Party City costume he was wearing at the end of
Oh
the
yeah,
movie.
it was a very bad suit.
Yeah. And he's also standing like 3 miles away. So when the camera pans over to him, we're really going far with that zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And I hated Bruce Wayne doing his Scooby-Dooing with Alfred and Selena of just like solving these crimes before he's Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so bad.
God awful.
Yeah.
Back to the point.
Yeah, sorry.
So Birds of Prey comes out as well. It did fine. It didn't make all that much money. Around this era, these movies were not making that much money. Shazam made a profit, I believe, but not by not that much where Warner Brothers was hoping for it because they're losing money left and right making these movies.
Let me see what
what were the other movies that were coming out? If you guys help me out.
Birds of Prey was 2020, and then Wonder Woman 1984 was during the pandemic because
the pandemic.
Yeah, because Birds of Prey was right before the pandemic, I think, like right before.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. There was no shot of it making a profit, and it. I believe a lot of people streamed that movie, but it still like it stunk.
Yeah, it was
like that movie
was not well received.
Pedro Pascal was good. I liked him.
He's always good, but you can't have him save a movie.
No, I just like Pedro a lot. So he was just fun.
Yeah, he's always good.
That came out Christmas Day of 2020. So we were like 5 months into the pandemic. And it was around that time HBO Max.
9.
No, it was, well, at least where I was, it was like around spring, like March, when everything started slowing down.
Yeah, so if it came out in December, it would be 9.
You know, Cameron.
Anyways.
Yeah, it's been a long morning. Yeah, no, sorry,
can't do math.
No. I'm this many.
during this time, we also got the announcement of release the Snyder Cut. So from all the way, what happened?
Cameron rolled his eyes so hard, I heard it from here. Like,
Hey,
dude,
we're going over like
we're getting
everything
there.
from this timeline.
We're getting
All
there.
right, whether good or for bad. So fans were campaigning like at a San Diego Comic-Con, I believe, a fan like bought a billboard that said "Restore the Snyderverse."
Really?
Warner Brothers are just trying to put the Snyder Cut, like hide it, like put it under the rug. It's like it doesn't exist. There was never a Snyder Cut, and even Zachary Levi was like, there was no Snyder Cut. And then then Aquaman, Jason Momoa flew down to Zack Snyder where they screened the Snyder Cut. They took a picture together. It's like, I just watched the Snyder Cut, released the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
And on the anniversary of the Justice League release, all the actors came together. It was like, release the Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder, he hosted a live like Zoom of like rewatching his movies and just doing his own director's commentary. And after one of them, he brought in Henry Cavill at the end to surprise all the fans. And one of the fans was like, so when are we going to see the Snyder Cut? And then Zach is like, well, why don't you tell him? And, Henry was like, take it away, Zach. And he's like, we're releasing the Snyder Cut. So the fans finally got what they wanted. All right, we're getting the Snyder Cut. And after Wonder Woman, was it the Suicide Squad or Zack Snyder's?
No, so after Woman 84 and 21, it was the HBO original Zack Snyder's Justice League.
It came out and people loved it. More people loved it than I would have ever imagined. I was a happy camper. I woke up early in the morning to watch that movie, and I had the best time. It was
Raise your hand if you have it on DVD. Just me? I really thought Colin would have bought it. I was kind of expecting you to raise your hand. Okay.
I wanted to get it on 4K, but I didn't think you want to give it away.
We can trade it back and forth like we were gonna do for the Flash movie. We can just have custody.
I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Anyway,
can't wait to get that.
And after that, the movie left off on a cliffhanger where people were like, we need this universe back. Yeah. Like we were building something. And regardless if you like the movie or not, it was setting up for future sequels. And whether good or for bad, the future sequels would have led to something that would have been way better than what the studio was doing. And partially, people had theories as to why Warner Brothers was so hell-bent on hiding this movie. It was the fact that this movie would have made the studio look bad compared to all of their other mistakes that they've made and mandated. And this led into restore the Snyderverse. Mm-hmm. But before the Snyder Cut released, Warner Brothers accidentally leaked it a week before. When the Tom and Jerry movie released on Max, some users clicked on it and the Snyder Cut actually played, which is funny if you think about it.
That's right.
Quite a lot of fans feel like this wasn't an accident, but sabotage from Warner Brothers. While Zack was working on the cut, Warner Brothers was still very difficult with Zack, even to the point of not including Green Lantern, which Zack has proven that Martian Manhunter was not supposed to show up at Bruce Wayne's house. It was Green Lantern, John Stewart.
That was going to be so cool.
Yeah. And so cool. Fans believed by this cut releasing, it would show that Warner Brothers would be proven to the world that they made a lot of mistakes, and the biggest one would be releasing Zack out of the DC universe.
Yeah.
Now, how you may feel or not for everybody about Zack, he had a vision compared to the studio. So like he had a plan. It may have not been a good plan, but it was more thought of than any of the decisions they made up in their yachts. After the movie came out, Restore the Snyderverse hashtag started, which was at the time a record number of tweets for a movie, which hit 1.5 million in the first week.
Are you really? In the first week?
Yeah, in the first week.
God.
I will say, I just Googled I just searched the hashtag on Twitter. They still got soldiers fighting that fight. They're still.
What's the number now?
They're still fighting. Oh, I don't know how much it's trending, but I'm just saying I'm seeing people still posting, and it says like 2 days ago.
Yeah. So, with this fandom being so either good or bad, after the movie came out in the Restore the Snyderverse, things took a turn for the worst, with the fans being super toxic, being overly hateful,
You don't say.
just like, Star Wars fans, but DC. And because of that, a hashtag boycott Warner Brothers tarnished the Restore the Snyderverse's reputation of these group of people saying boycott Warner Brothers, don't watch their movies until they restore the Snyderverse. And people are like, but I'm still gonna go watch the movie. And it completely and totally ruined the momentum.
Yeah, man.
And lastly, we're in our final chapter.
We're in the last leg.
We're in the last leg.
Oof,
all right.
It is.
Flying gasps.
It is.
Did you guys know that the original plans for the Flash movie, with Walter Amada being during this time, because their DC phase, none of the movies were connected at all. They weren't building to anything.
Oh, that's true. 'Cause I
And
think during this time they were doing that they were like pushing people out to get ready for Max.
yeah. Also, Batgirl was filmed and then canned. I forgot to mention that, but yeah. And with that being said, Batgirl, after the Flash and Batgirl came out, Michael Keaton was supposed to be sort of the Bruce Wayne, Nick Fury kind of role, and Batgirl was supposed to be in Batman's place, and Supergirl was supposed to be in Superman's place, because they had no interest of bringing back Batman and Superman. They just wanted to start something new, and just either to pander to audiences, get with the times or anything like that. Yeah. They're Warner Brothers at this time were just running around with tails caught between their legs.
I have a question. Are we in the Flash right now in this conversation? Are we talking about the Flash?
We're in the Flash, but I had to address Batgirl because this would have been relevant to the Flash topic.
What about the other three movies that came before the Flash?
Which ones?
The Suicide Squad, Black Adam, Shazam, Fear of the Gods, and then the Flash.
Okay, so the Suicide Squad came out.
That was James Gunn's.
That was James Gunn's, and after Disney kicked his ass out on the curb over an old tweet, distasteful tweet, but an old tweet nonetheless. And they offered James Gunn Superman. Originally offered him Superman, and he had no interest in doing it. And so they were just going back and forth until they landed on the Suicide Squad.
Sorry. He had no interest of doing Superman?
At that time, he didn't have an interest of making a Superman movie.
Really?
Not because he didn't want to. It just, he probably just didn't, his head was somewhere else at this time.
Wow.
And after the Suicide Squad came out, people loved it. It was a more well-made movie. We're getting the DC that we've always wanted to get. Yeah. It feels like a lived-in world. We're getting references off the wazoo. We got Starro the Conqueror, very stylized, very James Gunn. The best DCU movie that came out. My second is Zack Snyder's Justice League, but just because of sentimental value.
I mean, also we were introduced to so many great characters that had their own thing. We had Bloodsport, Peacemaker, Ratcatcher, and so many great moments.
And if you look at the concept art, if you look at the concept art originally, Bloodsport was actually supposed to be Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Which would have been amazing, but still, I love Idris Elba in Bloodsport, and it was a great movie. Yeah, but it also makes sense now that I think about it, that like Idris Elba's character was supposed to be Deathstroke because Deathstroke also had like an estranged daughter that happened to also be a Deathstroke type. So like them connecting to Ratcatcher, that would have. No, I just thought of that. I could just be making shit up.
Oh, I didn't know if he actually had a daughter. I was like,
no, he does have a daughter. He does.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I believe. Yeah.
I'm taking your word for it, dude.
Imagine if they had Joe Manganiello in that movie in Idris Elba's place.
That would have been wild.
It'd be a very different movie.
I mean, I thought he
probably would have been an awesome movie too. I mean,
I mean, it could have worked. I don't think I've ever seen him pull off a leading role.
I could be misremembering, but I think James Gunn wanted Idris Elba to be Deathstroke, but Joe Manganiello was already Deathstroke, so I think he had to settle on a different character.
I think you are right with that, because then I also know that around this time or afterwards, they released the animated storyboard of the Batman Deathstroke fight that would have happened in Ben Affleck's solo movie that would have happened. And it looks very Arkham-like that cutscene between him and Batman. So good. So good.
Yeah. One day we have to go over the original,
I'm going through
stuff.
Manganiello's
well, we did already. The DC
like,
movies are in comics.
It's so much deeper than you think.
That is true.
He might be the hottest person to not be a leading man.
Manganiello?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Manganiello himself is such a character because he loves D&D, all nerdy things. He's absolutely jacked. He was married to Sofia Vergara. That guy he's just winning.
He's winning, yeah.
Yeah. You
God
imagine
gave
that
with
fight.
both hands.
You imagine that fight with Batman and Deathstroke, where Batman's like, "I don't want to fight you, Slade. I wouldn't want to fight me neither."
Dude, that would have been great.
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad, which beautiful, so good.
Came out. What was the other movie that you were saying? Aquaman.
No, Black Adam.
Black Adam.
The powerhouse of the DC universe was about to change.
That one was interesting because, and I'll quickly run over this. So The Rock actually was involved with Shazam and Black Adam not wanting to fight.
Yeah.
One of the big issues that Zachary Levi talked about on an Instagram live, whether he's telling the truth or not, he seemed out of his mind. But it's totally plausible just because of how The Rock is. He's a super sweet guy on the outside, but also
contractually he could never lose a fight.
Contractually, he can never lose a fight, and also that might not necessarily be super involved with his Black Adam, but he wanted Black Adam to be something bigger than what Black Adam actually is, and he was a little bit difficult to work with. He was more interested in Black Adam versus Superman rather than Black Adam versus Shazam.
Yeah.
Still a cool story. So The Rock, Dwayne, he fought tooth and nail to get Henry Cavill back. Yeah. And he's like, the power of the DC universe is about to change forever. And he had all these big and giant plans,
The
and
Comic-Con thing was so funny, where he's standing on the floating thing and the lightning effect is on the screen.
It kills me every day that for about a week, and literally a week, we were like, holy shit, Henry Cavill's back. And then immediately James Gunn was like, actually.
Yeah. Look at the flowers.
Yeah. It was 2 posts on Henry Cavill's Instagram. One saying he's back, and then the next one saying, I'm not.
It's wild.
So sorry to interrupt, Con. I'm so sorry. It's
so wild. No, you guys help me out with that one.
Because it's a bit of pop culture that was so jarring. It was jarring. We were all so excited. We're like, oh my God, the movie was but then seeing him at the end of it, we're just like, ah.
And also it's super questionable with Superman, because Amanda Waller just getting Superman involved like that is, I'm sure she probably blackmailed him or something. I don't know. Probably. It's weird to think about. But anyway.
Because the Justice League and Waller never saw eye to eye. So there wasn't a willing full go.
Yeah, that's true. But
no, you're saying, sorry, go
on. So The Flash was
Shazam. We forgot Shazam.
Shazam Fury of the Gods came out. So The Flash was used to erase a lot of original plans for The Flash were used. The original reason why The Flash was happening and they were doing a Flashpoint movie was so that they can use that film to erase a lot of the current DCEU at that time.
Oh my God.
Which was the Batman, which was the Superman. Because you can see some of the trailer shots of the Flash film, and you see Supergirl out in the open, in a city. Mm-hmm. She was supposed to be in the part of the ending of the movie. And
I think they should make a movie about the making of the Flash.
They should do a documentary on the fucking DCEU.
I survived the DCEU. Good Lord,
man. And just get those old actors. You just have Ben Affleck, but he's blurred, and then they distort his voice.
Sorry, my alarm went off. Yeah, I can imagine be yes, I was working on Josh Whedon's shit.
I think if you reminded Ben Affleck that he played Batman, he'd just break down and cry.
He would cry.
Yeah.
You imagine? That'd be great.
Walter,
go Costco guys, and then this is what's most important documentary right now.
Walter Amada's larger plan ultimately was a Crisis on Infinite Earths movie, an Avengers Infinity War Endgame type. But sadly, it didn't get that far to begin with. Everything was just all over the place. It was if you set up a Lego city and then a German Shepherd just runs through the entire thing, and you just got to pick up the pieces and figure out where everything was put back together. Like it's just is wild.
Yeah, that sounds
So
very
after the
specific.
Flash was filmed, that's when we got James Gunn's DCU slate, which the first on that list was Creature Commandos, and that was announced a couple years ago. And look where we are now.
Well, actually, no, we're
episodes
forgetting
just
it.
came
Oh
out.
no, sorry. Snyderverse is not a part of Blue
Oh,
Beetle. I
Aquaman: The
forget.
Lost Kingdom was the last nail on
No,
the coffin.
I was gonna say Blue Beetle because I forgot that wasn't a part of Zack Snyder's universe. That was just part of the DC universe.
Yeah,
But not
yeah.
this.
Blue Beetle happened, and
I
it was
liked
a
it.
fine movie. I'm not saying it's bad.
No,
It's
I'm not
just
saying
it
it's bad.
happened.
I liked it a lot. Like, I mean, really, it was fun. Sheldon Mary Dwayne was great.
Yeah, around this era, it was like light, smaller references of like addressing
Yes.
superheroes existed,
Yes.
but it's just solo movies and nothing ever felt connected other than maybe a couple of things. And those like couple of things led to nowhere. And then Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom came out, and the last line we ever hear in a DCEU movie is Aquaman with his microphone doing his Iron Man moment, going, "And I am Aquaman, yee!" And then just drop that shit,
Yeah.
and then you just get no. The last thing is actually
It's the last
Norm.
scene. Yeah.
Norm eating a burger with a cockroach in it.
Yeah. What the?
Yeah.
What?
Cinema, baby.
How profound that being the
That's
last
how we end our
DCU.
cinematic universe.
So bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Colin,
So-
you did such a good job on this. By the way, I want to say
Thank
you
you.
you've done a great job with the info. You're gonna definitely be leading more episodes in season 4. But my god, that was not a good trip down memory lane.
I know that was like super long, guys. I apologize.
That was exactly what we were
talking
looking
along.
for, Colin. No, you did a good job. There's not much we can comment on that we already kind of haven't said on this podcast, other than the fact that each of these movies were a chapter and a product of a company that did not know where they were going, not in the slightest concept. And then when James Gunn took over, like you said, during the Flash, it was a lot of new DC stuff. Blue Beetle kind of just being this middle ground between the past and the future, because the character of Blue Beetle is in the DC universe, but this movie is not part of the DC universe he's talking about, which is a little confusing, but I guess it was like a good way to get introduced to the character. So when we see him, we get an idea of who Jaime already is. But overall, I mean, what a universe, you know? What a concept.
So Blue Beetle is still going to be kept in the DC universe. I think that will be one of the easier characters to transition into the new DC universe, just on the fact of like, because James Gunn's recent comments were like, you know, canon is what we can make it to be. It's like, you know, we'll make it work, but like it's just, you know, he's honestly like it sounds like a lazy move, but it really isn't. It's just like keep what worked, discard what doesn't work, craft a better DC universe. And that actor who played Blue Beetle I like him. Very good. Very good. I like him.
He was good. And since this is
we'll wrap it up. I will say Creature Commandos very directly referenced the events of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to and wrap it up with here. So the Suicide Squad canonized both season 1 of Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. And then if you track the Suicide Squad, it doesn't directly relate to Zack Snyder's DC universe. It's just a DC movie, which people could say, oh, it's a separate world, like how the Batman, like Matt Reeves' Batman is an Elseworlds kind of thing. And the Suicide Squad could be something related to something else, which then evolves into Peacemaker, and then the rest of the DCU that James Gunn is, and how Suicide Squad was just
Peacemaker 2 next year. I just realized that.
Peacemaker 2 is officially part of the DC universe. While this is where it gets really confusing. He said Peacemaker season 1 will have moments that are canonized, but the rest of the majority of season 1 is not canonized. So I just think
no, he said the opposite. He said majority of the season is canon.
Yeah.
But the Justice League end cap is going to be addressed.
So what I'm thinking means is that like in that DC universe, Amanda Waller's daughter was still working with Peacemaker, John Economos and everybody was working with Peacemaker, and she still exposed the secrets of Task Force X. I just don't think all the events that happened like White Dragon, because we saw him in a mural and behind the scenes. So I think his dad's still going to be alive. His brother's still going to be alive. Judo Master's going to be on a different team rather than what we saw in season 1, if that makes sense. That's what I'm thinking.
I guess we'll see.
All right, what do you
Yeah,
think, Cameron? Colin, what do you think of Creature Commandos?
I loved it.
That's good.
It was so much fun. I I watched it twice, both episodes. I love that fight with the bride and the sorceress lady,
Circe.
Gem and the whatever.
Yeah.
It is so much fun,
Yeah, it's
so
cool.
violent, so crude, hilarious.
Yeah. Alan Tudyk as Dr. Phosphorus. Love it.
And him as GI Robot. GI Robot
Oh no, that's done.
MVP.
That's Sean Gunn though.
Was it?
Sean Gunn is Weasel and GI. Alan Tudyk
Robot.
is Dr. Phosphorus.
Oh, thank you for correcting
I will
me.
say I'm excited to see these characters in live action.
I know.
I'm interested to see what they look like.
I know. I'm glad though they didn't start in live action. Like James was saying, that it's hard to do like Dr. Phosphorus good in the beginning, so that when we're kind of like used to it and then we transition to live action, we have an idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not
James Gunn did make recent comments
Mm-hmm.
that he said that not all of the voice actors who do
Yes.
the animated projects will appear in live action,
That is true.
but a live action GI Robot and all the rest of them as well as just,
We have Flag coming in Peacemaker 2 and Superman. That's
we
for
do.
sure. That's for
He
sure.
will be sort of a Nick Fury type, which I
know.
really like.
I like it a lot. And Colin and I talked about this yesterday, but the Prince, spoiler for Creature Commandos.
Oh yeah.
I hate it when someone gives away the ending.
I can't say for sure anything.
Oh, no. I'm reading the books.
But I can say nothing.
The princess is not, we're not going to say who. It's not who we think it is. Like it's not who they're portraying it to be. It is who we think it is. She's not the princess.
We can do a quick spoiler.
Okay, cool. Yeah, quick spoiler. It's 100% Clayface. Because we saw that in the trailer, Clayface, it's Clayface. And Colin, you mentioned a penguin thing.
Yeah, I realized, I was like, if they're going down like the Clayface route, because recently, Clayface's real name is something Carlo.
I think it's Jonathan Carlo.
Jonathan Carlo, could be Michael Carlo, could be Dwayne Carlo.
Mr.
And the Cameron, are you caught up with Penguin?
Yeah.
So the lady that dressed up as like his mother.
I was trying to think of like who she dressed as. You're right.
Yeah. So her last I think her last name is also Carlo. So this
100%.
could also be Clayface as well, doing this weird like what they did in The Boys, with that.
Oh my god, the
Homelander.
Shape-shifting dude.
Yeah, the shapeshifting.
Oh my god, that was so random.
I don't think both of them are connected. I just thought it was amusing to think about.
Right. That could be a good story because we don't know exactly how far along. Well, no, because they have announced that the Epic Crime Saga and the DC Universe, 2 different places.
Oh yeah.
But
I just thought it
Clayface
was
can still exist in
coincidence.
both because Clayface is going to be the bad guy confirmed in Batman Part 2.
I think it might. There were heavy rumors early on that it was Clayface. Clayface could be a part of it, but I believe they're leaning with Mr. Freeze.
Either way, I remember Clayface being a confirmation or something. So then if Carlo is a part of this world already established with this with the woman, I can't remember her name. And at the same time, we have a possible Jonathan Crane, Scarecrow with the guy in the glove and the mask. It was the therapist. Yeah. We have Freeze and Joker existing. That's 4. And a possible Court of Owls. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah. Magpie for 2 seconds.
What'd you say?
I said Magpie for 2 seconds.
Magpie. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
Also, I did like how in the Suicide Squad, we had Kaleidoscope for a bit. That was fun. We had Calendar Man. We had Ace, I think, or Ace of Spades, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The guy with the cards. He can peel cards from his face. And Gambit with skin, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What a beautiful time we're living in right now.
It's crazy because, I mean, Peacemaker, like you clarified, not all of it will be canonized like the Justice League thing. But I do think big moments like the fight scene with his dad and all that stuff. I think that's going to be coming again in a different story. And so, and yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy. That's good.
it's crazy.
Colin, you
Crazy,
did such
yeah.
a good job this episode. I'm super proud of you, my man. You did it. Give it around. Give it around. Just so good. Guys, thank you guys for joining. Cameron, we're going to miss you for season 3. Next episode is the season finale. We'll be back
Oh,
January.
what are y'all gonna do for the next episode?
We're going to do our New Year's episode. Right?
Yeah.
Frankly, I'll be real with you. I have no clue. I'll think of something between now and then. But we're going to think of something. It's probably going to be a shorter episode because it's the New Year's episode and deciding on a lot of different stuff for season 4. But speaking of season 4, I got a fun little announcement.
Oh,
Want to share it here.
oh,
Might have to censor it.
Season
dear God.
4. No! Hold on. Hold on.
I gotta get you a green
You
screen.
gotta give me. I gotta get one of those chair green screens. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna lay down the curtain. I gotta. This is messy bedroom.
just a man.
Okay. Oh, that's totally my chonies in frame. Hold on. Here we go. Season 4 announced January 15th, 2024. 5. That was a great announcement, boy.
We're going back in time.
Time. Yeah, man. Season 4 is out January 15th, 2014. Mark it on your calendars. That clapboard is going to be seeing a lot more this next season. Got it as a fun little gift. So, yeah. Our icon is now officially real.
Wow.
Thank you guys for such a great season. Cameron, you did such a great job
Megan.
being here with us. Thank you for joining when you can. Colin did an absolute great job this episode, and I cannot wait to see what you're going to be doing in season 4. If you guys did enjoy the episode, be sure to follow us and give us a star rating. We hope it's a 5. Check us out on Instagram and YouTube because TikTok,
Take a 3 though.
yeah, we'll settle 3. TikTok's on its last potential final days. If you guys want to check us out on Instagram and YouTube, we got a lot of stuff there. We're over our 500 mark, so that's good. We're on our progress. Check us out on Letterboxd as well. And thank you guys again for watching. See you next time.